as log a of base b or log x base b is equals to y. Suppose this is a function given to us. Okay, now see, we know that there will be condition on x, there will be a condition on x as well as on the there will be condition on the base. Both will have a condition. Okay, so log function have, okay, fine. So log function have a condition on both x and b. X and b. So we'll first check out what are the conditions on x and what are the conditions on b. So first thing is that x will have only one condition. So the condition on x, for all log, no matter what the base is, the condition on x will be that x should be greater than 0. Okay, it cannot be equal to 0. X will always be greater than 0. Okay, this is the condition on this x. This is the condition on this a. In this case, I have taken a. So this is the condition on this x. Understood? Now we'll look at the condition on base b. The condition on base b will be that this b has to be greater than 0. This b has to be greater than 0. So this is condition on b. This was the condition on x. The condition on b will be that b has to be greater than 0 and b should not be equal to 0. So this is the condition on b. No matter what log x is, the base has to be greater than 0 and base cannot be equal to, just wait a second. I'll fix this, just wait for a minute. Yeah. Okay. So now we have seen that the condition on base b will be that it has to be greater than 0 and it should not be equal to 0. Okay. Now we know, as we can see, that this base b is divided into two parts. So if I draw a number line for b, so this is 0 and this is 1. Okay. So base b can take any value from this part. Base b can take any value in this. That means this is the region which is base b is less than 1 and greater than 0. And for this part, base b will be greater than 1. Okay, so as we can see that this base b is divided into two different parts. So what I'll do, I'll discuss these two, I'll differentiate these two parts and I will discuss the base for different bases, the properties of log or the function log. Okay, so what I'll call this base when this is less than 1 and greater than 0 as a weak base. We'll call this as a weak base. Okay. And when the base is greater than 1, we'll call this as a strong base. Okay, we'll call this as a strong base. Now it is very easy to remember strong base which is greater than 1 and weak base which is less than 1. Okay. And obviously the base has to be greater than 0. Okay, so in all the log, the base will always be greater than 0 and not equal to 1. Also, base greater than 1 I will call as a strong base and base less than 1 and greater than 0 I will call as a weak base. This is just a definition given. Okay, so first what we'll do, we'll look at what is a strong base, because this seems base greater than 1, this seems something which we have already seen before. like log of e, log base e, or log base 10. These e is approximately equals to 2, and log base 10. So these both values, in this it is greater than 1 and this is also greater than 1. So we'll see what a strong base looks like. Okay. So the function of strong base will be something like this. So we already have for strong base, this is suppose y-axis and this is x-axis. This is y-axis and this is your x-axis. Okay. So for strong base, I have this point as 1, 0. For strong base, I have this 1, 0. So for strong base, the function, the log function will look something like this. Okay, the strong base, the function will look something like this. For example, if this log I'm taking as log base 2 x is equals to y. Log base 2 of x is equals to y. Now, log of 1 will be equals to 0. So log of 1, this is y is equals to 0. So first this point. Okay. Now let's see log of 2. So this is 2. So log of 2 will be, for this one, y will be 1. Log of 2 will be, y will be 1. Understood? And so on. Right? Now, if I move before 1 and after 0, if I move before 1, suppose log of 1 by 2. Suppose log of 1 by 2. So if I substitute here 1 by 2, so y will become what? So suppose this is 1 by 2. Y will become what? Minus 1. So this is minus 1. Understood? So for this will be minus 1. For log 2, this will be 1. Fine. This will be the representation of log with a strong base. Okay. Now in this case only, I will take one more example. Suppose instead of this 2, I am taking 10. Instead of 2, I am taking log base 10. Okay. So if I am taking log base 10 of x equals to y, instead of taking 2, I am taking 10. What happens is the graph of this log base 10 will look something like this. This part will go down and this part will go that side. Okay. And why this is happening? First thing, let's take 2 points, 1 and 2. Okay. Let's take 2 points, 1 and 2. Log base, for base 10, if I'll take x is equals to 1, for x is equals to 1, again this will become equal to 0. So that means it will, all the log with strong base or weak base will pass through this point, that is 1, 0. Okay. Now let's take log 2. In this case, if I'll take log 2 base 10 is equals to y, I have to find the value of y. So that means 2 is equals to 10 raised to the power y. 2 is equals to 10 raised to the power y. Now definitely if y is equals to 1, this will not be equal. So y has to be something less than 1. So that means this part will lie below. So this is something less than 1. Okay. So this will be something less than 1. So that means this part, as we move on, this part will come. This part will be below. Okay. And as we move on the left, this part will be keeping on moving towards the left. If I'll take log 100, suppose if I'll take log 100, means log of base 100, log x base 100 is equals to y. So think about it, where it will lie. So it will lie even below. So this will be log x base 100 is equals to y. And on this side, it will be something like this. Understood? So this will be the representation of log. If suppose I am taking log x base 3, so log x base 3 will be in between these two. Okay. Understood? If I am taking log x base 99, it will be between these two. If I am taking log x base 80, it will be in between these two, and so on. Understood? So just make a note of that. I want you to draw this whole diagram. I want you to draw this diagram once by yourself and plot these log x base 2, log x base 10 and log x base 100 is equals to y, and on the left hand side. I want you to plot it, then we move on to the exponential function. Sorry, with weak base. Just draw this fast. Look at the diagram, exactly same, just repeat it, draw it once. But your log x base infinity, yes. It will not, so log x base infinity, what happens is this part will be just what will be just parallel to the x-axis, and this part will almost be parallel to y-axis. This part will almost be parallel to y-axis. If I'll increase x, if I'll take this base to be very high, this part will almost be trying to touch x-axis, and this part on the left side will almost be trying to touch this y-axis. Okay, approximate graph. If this is almost very big, if this is almost tending to infinity, so the approximate graph will be something like this. This is x and y axis. This is 1, 0. So the graph will be something like this. Understood? But remember, this line will never touch, this line will never overlap x-axis, and this line will never overlap y-axis, but it will almost be parallel. This is if base is tending to infinity or base is very large. Understood? Okay, so I hope all of you have drawn this thing. Now this was for strong base. Now we'll move on to the weak base. This was for strong base. Now we'll move on to the weak base. Again, for weak base, okay, for weak base, suppose (1, 0). Now see, log was for strong base, it was something like this. Okay, log for strong base was something like this. Okay, now for weak base, it will just invert. That means if it is like this, for weak base, it will become something like this. Okay, so for strong base, the graph was something like this. So now for weak base, the graph will become something like this. Okay, so suppose this is for log base 1/2 of x is equals to y. Okay, now see, if I'll move x greater than 1, suppose for 2, if I'll take x as 2, so if I'll put this function log 2 base 1/2 is equals to y, so if I take 2 is equals to 1/2 to the power y, so just think about it, what should be y? Y will be equals to, so that means this will give us y is equals to -1. So for 2, the y is -1. In previous case, for log base 2, what was, if x is equals to 2, what was y? Y was 1. In this case, if x is equals to 2, what will y become? -1. This is in the case of weak base. Understood? Now, suppose if I take in the previous case, I have taken here 1/2. Again, I will take here 1/2. So suppose this is 1/2. So if I substitute x is equals to 1/2, so that means log of 1/2 of 2 is equals to y. So that means 1/2 base 1/2 is equals to 1/2 to the power y. So in this case, what will y become? So in this case, y will become 1. Okay. In the previous case, y was -1, and in this case, what does y become? Y becomes -1. Understood? Fine. So that means this graph is just inverted of the previous one. Okay. Now your homework will be, for this one, your homework will be Your homework will be approximately plot the graph of log base 1 by 10, log base 1 by 3, and log base 1 by 5. X, X, X equals to y, this one, and this one. I want on the same graph, plot the graph of log x base 1 by 10, log x base 1 by 3, and log x base 1 by 5. Okay. Now this is for weak base. Okay. Now one thing to observe in this one is when x is between 0 to 1, y is positive. When x is between 0 to 1, y is positive. Okay. And when x is greater than 1, then y is negative. Y is negative. Okay. Fine. This was exactly opposite in the previous case. In the previous case, when x is in between 0 to 1, y was negative. Okay. And when x is greater than 1, y becomes positive. Okay. Now, some of you are asking question that why? Suppose I'm hiding this part. Okay. If I'm hiding this part, see, x is between 0 to 1. Okay. For x between 0 to 1, for weak base, I'm talking about weak base. X is between 0 to 1. So no matter what value x takes, y will always be positive. No matter what x I take. So that means for weak base between 0 to 1, y is positive. Okay. Now if I'm hiding this part, so this part of the region, if I'll take x to be greater than 1, so this y is negative. Understood? Fine. This is for weak base. Okay. So for x, this is for x less than 1, y is positive, and for x greater than 1, y is negative. Okay. Now for strong base, if I hide this part, okay, when x is between 0 to 1, y is negative. For all the cases, no matter what base is, but base should be strong. Y is negative. For any base, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, y will be negative in between 0 to 1. And when I'm talking about x greater than 1, y will be positive. In this case, y will be positive. Understood? So I'll write in this also. This is when x is between 0 to 1, and this is when x is greater than 1. For this one, y is less than 0, and for this one, y is greater than 0. Okay. Only for one case, which is x is equals to 1. For x is equals to 1, y is equal to 0. In this case, also, when x is equals to 1, y equal to 0. Okay. So only one point, it is common for both weak base and strong base, which is this point. Okay, I hope this is okay. I want you to draw this one also. I want you to draw once this graph also, and mark all the 3 points. This one, 1 by 2, 1 and 2. I want you to mark this and draw the graph once fast. Then we move on to the exponential functions once again. Okay, now we move on to exponential function. Fine. So now, as we had a logarithmic function, the exponential function will be of the form of something of the base, so this is f of x or y is equals to a to the power x. This is exponent. Now, in this case also, there is a condition on this a. There is a condition on this a that a should be greater than 0 and a should not be equals to 1. Okay, why we are not taking a is equals to 1? We only want to discuss for a not equal to 1, because if a is equals to 1, no matter what power of x I will substitute, or whatever x I will substitute, y will be equals to 1. So I do not want to discuss for a equals to 1. Okay, don't say that sir 1 to the power 10 is not, it is defined. It is defined. I'm just, in this case, I'm not taking a is equals to 1, because for a is equals to 1, I will have always y is equals to 1. It's a constant function. Okay, so why? Because I want to relate this thing with the logarithmic functions. So a is greater than 1. Again, if I draw a on the number line, so 0 to this will be 0 to 1. Okay, so that means between 0 to 1, and I will define between 1 to and positive. So between 0 to 1, again I will, there is no such thing as weak exponent or strong exponent, but just to compare, I will write this as weak exponent and strong exponent. Okay, something like weak base and strong base. So I'll take weak exponent such that a is less than 1 and greater than 0, and strong exponent such that a is greater than 1 and like this, a is greater than 1. Okay, so I'll try to draw the graph of a less than 1 and greater than 0 and a greater than 1 separately. First, I will try to draw the graph of a greater than 1. Now see, why am I not talking about the graph of negative exponent? The graph of negative exponent. Okay, because think about it. If suppose a is less than 0, suppose a is minus 2, okay, and a minus 2 to the power x, now this x will take all real values, think about it. X will take all real values, so x will also take 1 by 2, x will also take 1 by 4, x will also take 1 by 8, x will also take 1 by 16, x will also take value 3 by 2, 3 by 4, 3 by 16, and so on. Correct? X will take these values. And what is this? Under root of minus 2. Under root of minus 2 is not defined. Fourth root of minus 2 is not defined. 8th root of minus 2 is not defined. 16th root of minus 2 is not defined. Understood? So what is happening? When x is 2, this will become 4. Okay. When x is 4, this will become 16. When x is 5, this will become 32. Fine. For even power, it is okay. I can say that for even power, it is fine. But when the power x becomes something like this, I cannot plot this on the graph. So this graph will be uneven, or in some places I can draw, in some places I cannot draw. So that is why we will not look at the graph of this, because it is not continuous, and at many points this will be breaking. This graph will be breaking up. Okay, or thus this graph will break at many points. So that is why, just to avoid such kind of a graph, we will not discuss about the exponent being negative. Fine. Same is the reason for log. If I will take base to be negative, at some points it will not be defined. At some points it will not be defined. So we will not take negative exponents and negative base. I hope this is okay. Fine. So let's first try to draw the graph of exponent which is greater than 1. Let's try to draw the graph of this portion. Okay. Fine. So first we will find for strong exponent. Fine. So suppose this is y-axis and this is x-axis. Okay, this is y-axis and this is x-axis, and I want to draw the graph of 2 to the power x is equals to y. I want to draw the graph of 2 to the power x is equals to y. Now, the first, I told you the easiest point. Let's see what is happening at 0. When x is 0, what will the value of y? 2 to the power 0 is 1. So that means this will be this point. When x is 0, y is equals to 1. So this point is 0, 1. In log it was 1, 0. Now it is 0, 1. Okay. Now let's take x to be 1. X to be 1. When x is 1, what will be the value of y? Y will be 2. So the graph on the right side, I know, will be something like this. Understood? Now on the left side, if I'll take x, now negative, x is -1. If I'll take x to be -1, what will be the value of y? Y will be 1 by 2. So y will be 1 by 2. So it will be something like this. Okay. So this will be the graph of 2 to the power x. 2 to the power x. Now, most of you must have understood by now that if I have for e to the power 2 to the power x something like this, then as we have seen for 2, we can also check for 10. We can also check for 10 to the power x. Let's see what will happen with 10 to the power x. So I am now trying to draw approximate graph of 10 to the power x is equals to y. 10 to the power x is equals to y. Okay. Now see, first is x is equal to 0. For x is equal to 0, y will be equals to 1 because 10 to the power 0 is 1. So the graph will be touching at this point. Understood? Now, when x is equals to 1, in this case, when x is equals to 1, when x was equals to 1, y was equals to when x is equals to 1, y was equals to 2, and when x is equals to -1, y was 1 by 2. Okay, when x was equals to 1, this one. Now in this second case, when x is equals to 1, in this case y will be equals to 10. So that means when x is equals to 1, y will be equals to 10. That means this graph, for this one, 10 to the power x, the graph will be something like this. So this will be the graph of 10 to the power x is equals to y. And this is upward, this is moving this side. So what will happen to this? This will move down. Okay. Why this is moving this side? Because same power of x, y will be much more than this. For 2, for x is equals to 2, this will become 4. For x is equals to 2, this will become 100. For x is equals to 3, this will become 8. For x is equals to 3, this will become 1000, and so on. Okay, so suppose x is equals to 5, this y will be equals to 32 only. And for x is equals to 5, this will be equals to 10,000. Sorry, 100,000. Understood? Fine. So for x is equals to -1, this will be 1 by 10. For x is equals to -1, this will be 1 by 10. So much less. Understood? So this graph moves this side as we increase the value of a, and this graph moves this side as we decrease the value of a. Understood? This is okay. I want you to draw this graph with base 10 and with base 2, approximate graph of this. Okay, fast, draw this. Then I'll move on to the weak base also. I just explained exponent of negative number. I just explained negative number. For suppose instead of 2, if I have -2. Okay, instead of 2, if I have -2. So take -2 to the power x. Okay, now take the value of x as 2. What will you get? You will get 4. Take the value of x as 4. What will you get? 16. Take the value of x as 3. So you will get -8. This is okay. For these values, it is okay. Now suppose if I take x as 1 by 2. So -2 to the power 1 by 2 will become what? Root of -2. For that case, it will be undefined. Right? So that means for some part of x, it will be undefined. So some part of x, it will be defined. So it will not be a continuous. It will not be a continuous kind of function. Right? So that is why we will not define it. We will not try to draw it. Okay, because for certain power of x it is defined, not for continuous. So that is why we will not touch minus negative exponents only. Fine. Okay. So this is okay. Fine. Now, if suppose I will take exponent to be a very large number. If I'll take exponent to be a very large number, okay. So the same, what will happen to this? This will shift. This will completely move towards this line. So this will completely move towards this line. So what will happen? So we almost parallel to y-axis, and this part will almost be parallel to x-axis. Understood? So this is when, so this part will be almost parallel to y-axis, something like this, and this part will be almost parallel to. So this is when a is tending to infinity, almost parallel, and this will be almost parallel to x-axis. Okay, fine. So next is when we try to draw, see what happens with a weak exponent. Now remember, weak and strong exponent, there is no term like that. It is just for to compare both. I'm naming them as weak exponent and strong exponent. Okay, so for weak exponent, so for weak exponents, again what I'll do, but a graph for -2 exponent we cannot draw, because for irrational values you do not know what will the graph look like. So that is why we will not draw the graph of -2 to the power x. Okay, we cannot draw the graph of -2 to the power x. Just wait, just wait. Okay, fine. So let's look for weak exponents. Okay, so suppose weak exponent, I want to draw the graph of 1/2 to the power x is equals to y. I want to draw the graph of 1/2 to the power x is equals to y. So what I'll do, first I will check it for simple points. So this is y-axis, this is x-axis. So for x is equal to 0, for x is equal to 0, what will be the value of y? Y will be 1. So for x is equal to 0, sorry, for x is equal to 0, so y will be 1. So this will be the point 0, 1. I know the graph is passing through 0, 1. Okay. Now let's take for x is equals to -1. For x is equals to -1, for x is equals to -1, y will become equals to 2. So that means for x is equals to -1, y will be equals to 2. So that means the graph will look something like this. Okay, the graph will look something like this. Now you must have figured it out that the previous graph was this. Okay, and this graph is on the left hand side, it is this. So right hand side, what will the graph look like? Something like this. Understood? Fine. This was for 1/2. Okay, in the same plot, if I'll try to draw the graph of 1/10, if I'll try to draw the graph of 1/10 to the power x is equals to y. I want you all to draw this graph first. I want you to draw this graph first, and then on the same graph, plot 1/10 to the power x. Plot 1/10 to the power x. Let's see where this lies, where this graph lies. This point will be same. This point will be same because x 0, so this will be 1. Tell me, just check by yourself that where this graph lies. Just do it fast. I'm waiting. Okay, I think most of you have done, must have done. So again, so this was x is equals to 1, and this was, sorry, x is equals to -1, and this is x is equals to 1. For x is equals to -1. For x is equals to -1, this was 2, and for x is equals to 1, this was 1/2. Okay, for this one, x is equals to -1, y will become 10. And for x is equals to 1, this will become 1 by 10. So this will be something like this. Understood? This is for 1 by 10 to the power x is equals to y, and the previous one is 1 by 2 to the power x is equals to y. Fine. So these are the two different blocks. Okay. Now same, using the same concept, if I had to draw the graph of 1 by 8 to the power x, so that graph will lie somewhere in between these two and somewhere in between these two. If I had to draw the graph of 1 by 100, it will be here. It will be on the right side, and here it will be on the lower side. If I had to draw the graph of 1 by 1000, it will be on the right side, on the lower side. If I had to draw the graph of 1 by 4, it will be in between these two and in between these two. Okay, so these were the 4 different graphs for weak base, strong base, and weak exponent and strong exponent. Okay, so again, this was for strong exponent, something like this, and for weak exponent it will be something like this. Okay, fine. Okay, now see, so suppose if this was, so this is log 2 base, log x base 2, log x base 2, and if this was for log x base 1 by 2, log x base 2, this was for log x base 1 by 2. Okay, these are two mirror images. Fine. If suppose this is for log x base 10, okay, so this will be for log x base 1 by 10. Okay, just check it. Fine. Fine. Okay, now see, for exponents, if suppose this is for 2 to the power x, so this will be for 1 by 2 to the power x. Okay, now suppose if this one is for 10 to the power x, fine, so this one will be 1 by 10 to the power x. Fine, this is y-axis. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. Okay, so these were the 4 different functions, 4 different graphs for weak base, strong base, for weak exponent, and for strong exponent. Okay, I want you to draw these graphs once again as homework, and try to find and try to see if you can remember this or not. Okay, the best way to remember is take any 4 points for x plus 1 minus 1, means for exponent and log for different points. Just take any 3 or 4 points and just try to use those 4 points to plot the whole graph. Okay, if you have plotted for 3 points, I think you can remember how the graph will look like. Okay, fine. Okay, once again, so what we'll do is, once again we'll try to see we'll try to use the Wavy curve. I will give you some examples of Wavy curve, and I will try to see what was the logarithmic, what was the algorithm to find the to use the Wavy curve function. Okay. Now, to find that, to use that, I will use in question. So I will give you some questions of to find the domain of certain functions. Fine. So first one, I'll give you a little different kind of function because most of the function we have already worked out. So first find the domain of. So for these function, you have to find the domain. You have to find the domain of this log mod of x minus x plus 3 minus 5. Mod of x minus 3 or mod of x minus 3 is equals to y. Mod of log base, suppose 10, log base 10, mod of x plus 3 is equals to y. Tell me what will be the domain of this function. This is mod log base 10, mod of x plus 3 is equals to y. Tell me what will be the domain of this function. Okay, now as we can see that whatever is inside log, this part, whatever is inside the log, this part, this thing has to be greater than 0. So that means this part, if I'll take it as k, that means k has to be greater than 0. Fine, k has to be greater than 0. And the property of log, the property for log is, the property, the property for mod function is that mod, that means this is x mod of x plus 3, that this mod will always be greater than equal to 3. This mod will always be, greater than equal to 0. This mod will be always be greater than equal to 0 because this is a modulus function. Fine. But we have to find that this k, this part should be only greater than 0. Okay. That means there will be one value of x. There will be a value of x for which this modulus function is 0. And what is that value? This modulus function will be 0 for, so this x plus 3, mod x plus 3 will be 0 for x is equals to minus 3. That means if x is equals to minus 3, this thing inside the log will be 0, which is not defined for log. But that means the domain of this function, the domain of this f of x will be real values. X can take all real values except one, except the value of minus 3. So this will be the domain of this function. Understood? This will take all the real values except minus 3. Okay, next. Okay, next is find the domain of 1 upon x minus root of x plus 2 is equals to y. Find the domain of this. Okay, so let's check. Now we have something in the denominator. My numerator does not have any x, so this is okay. For every value of x, this will be fine. Now for the denominator, I have to check. Now this is in denominator. So the condition on denominator is that denominator should not be equal to 0. This denominator should not be equal to 0. So that means this part should not be equal to 0. Okay. Now x minus root of x plus 2 should not be equal to 0. Okay. That means that means I have to find that when this is 0, I will remove those values of x. I will find when this is 0 and I will remove those values of x. So that means x minus root of x plus 2 equal to 0. I'll find when this is happening. So that means this is x is equals to root of x plus 2. Now because there is an equality, what I'll do, I will square both sides. So that means this is x square is equals to x plus 2. Okay, so I'll take this on this side. So this is x square minus x minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, x square minus x minus 2 equal to 0. For this, I will find the roots. I will find the roots. Now this is x is equals to minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac upon b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Either I can solve using this, or I can factorize this. This is x square minus x. Minus x I can write as minus 2x plus x minus 2 equal to 0. So I'll take x minus 2 and x plus 1 is equal to 0. So these will be the two factors. These will become the two factors. Okay. So if that means x is equals to 2 or x is equals to minus 1. That means x is equals to 2 or x is equals to minus 1. For x is equals to 2, what will I have? 2 minus under root of 4. 2 minus 2, 0. And x is equals to minus 1. X is equals to minus 1. Again, this will become 0. So for these values of x, I cannot include. So that means first thing which I got is x should not be equals to 2 or minus 1. Okay, x should not be equals to 2 or minus 1. But many of you have noticed that this will not be the complete answer. And why this is not the complete answer? See, this is okay. The denominator we have taken care of, right? Denominator we have taken care of. So this is fine. But there is one more problem. There is one more problem creating thing in this. What is that? That there is a root in this. How do we tackle this root? Now there is a root in this part. How do we tackle this root? Now we know that this root of x plus 2, whatever is inside the root, this x plus 2 should also be greater than or equal to 0. This x plus 2 should also be greater than equal to 0. Why? Because suppose if I substitute x is equals to minus 8, if I substitute x is equals to minus 8, this part is okay, minus 8, but this will become minus 8 plus 2. This will become minus 6. Under root of minus 6 is not defined. That means from this I have already, so from this I can find, from this I got that x should also be greater than equals to minus 2. Okay, so what I'll do, I will take the intersection of this solution and this solution. X should be greater than equals to minus 2 and x should not be equals to 2 comma minus 1. Okay, remember these two. So that means x should be greater than equals to minus 2 and x should not be equals to 2 comma minus 1. So what happens is, if I draw this on number line, so from here I am getting minus 2, this is 0, this is 1 and so on, and this will be minus 1 suppose. So any value after minus 2, x can take except 2 and minus 1. So the solution of my solution will be that x belongs to close bracket minus 2 to infinity. X belongs to close bracket minus 2 to infinity minus 2 and minus 1. So this will be the domain. This will be the final answer. Understood? Just check it. What I have done. See, if I include this -1 here, okay, yeah, correct. One thing is, see, one of you have messaged me that some -1 can be included. See, what is happening? Correct. See, in this case, if I substitute -1, if I substitute -1 here, if I substitute -1 here, what is happening? This is -1 minus of, this is -1 minus of -1 plus 2. So this will become, in the denominator, it will become -1 minus of 1. So this will become -2. Okay, this will become -2. Now see, why we are getting this -1 as extra? Why we are getting this -1 as extra? Because we have squared here. Because we have squared here. By squaring, I am getting one additional root. By squaring, I am getting one additional root. Understood? When we'll square, this was linear equation. Here it was linear. That means here it should be positive. It should be positive. So -1, I am getting as an extra root. So this I have to take care that when x I am squaring, I have to check. For 2, I am substituting, I am getting 0. But when I am substituting -1 here, what I am getting? For substituting -1, I am getting under in denominator, I am getting -2. That means -1 is I am getting through the solution through squaring, but -1 can be excluded. So here x can be equals to -1. Correct. X can be equals to -1. X can be equals to -1. Understood? Fine. See, I have made a mistake here that when from here I am getting two roots. X is equals to 2 and x is equals to -1. Right? But -1 I am getting an additional root. Why I am getting additional root? Because I have squared. Because I have squared both sides. So when I am squaring, I am increasing the number of roots. But when I am substituting 2, I am getting 0. When I am substituting 2, I am getting 0. But when I am substituting -1, I am getting -2, which is okay. In denominator, I can get -2. Fine. Everyone understood? Okay. Fine. Okay. So write down the next question. Write down the next question. The next question is, okay, find the domain of f of x is equals to log of x square minus 9. X square, f of x is equals to log of x square minus. You can take this and for any base. Why they have not mentioned the base? Because even for positive, even for base greater than 1 or base less than 1, it is okay for both. Okay, so we'll try to solve this. Now we know that whatever is inside log, this part has to be, the condition on this has to be that x square minus 9 should be greater than 0. Okay, now this x square minus 9 should be greater than 0. Whatever value of x we can get, we will whatever value of x we can use, that will be the solution. Okay, so that will become our final domain. Right now, this is something like a baby curve. We have already solved this question using baby curve. We have already solved these kinds of questions using baby curve. Okay, so let's solve. So that means x square minus 9 should be greater than 0. I can factorize this. So this is x minus 3 into x plus 3. This should be greater than 0. Okay, what are the two factors? What are the two critical points? So this is power 1, this is power 1. For this one, x is equals to 3. This is one of the critical point. For this one, what is the critical point? X is equals to minus 3. Okay, so what will I get? I will have minus 3 and 3. I will have minus 3 and 3. Now at x tending to infinity. For x tending to infinity, this part will be positive. For x tending to infinity, this part will be positive. So both are positive. Both are positive. So that means positive. Okay. Now for 3 this one, the power is odd. So that means it will change sign. Again for minus 3, the power is odd, that means again change sign. So that means positive, negative, and positive. Okay, even by thinking about it, see, if x is tending to minus infinity, again this will be positive, log, valid for log. For positive infinity, again this will be positive, valid for log. So that means in between some values, when this is negative, it will not be included. Okay, so between minus 3 and 3 it is not included. So I can write this as either r minus 3 to 3, and why 3 and minus 3 are included by why minus 3 and minus 3 and 3 are excluded from the original solution from our domain, because if I substitute minus 3, this will become 0, and log of 0 is undefined. Okay, or I can write minus infinity to minus 3 union 3 to infinity, or minus 3 to 3 union 3 to infinity. So this is my domain. Understood? So these were some, this was some revision. Also, again, I'm telling you, my number is 98181739952. Okay, this is my WhatsApp number. Okay, I will only encourage WhatsApp messages, because whenever I see the message, I will give you I'll give you a reply. So whatever doubts you have, or if I'm going too fast, or if there is any part you're not able to understand, you can always WhatsApp me whatever time. After 11 p.m. I won't be able to answer, but whenever I see the message, I will give you an answer for whatever doubts you have. Okay, fine. Doubts related to the topic, to maths, not your personal doubts. Okay, fine. So we'll move on to range tomorrow. In tomorrow's class, we'll start with range. So this is what to do. Okay, I'll show you the slide, the notes once again, whatever we have discussed today. Okay, you can take the